We're going to screw this guy so badly, they will have to commit suicide.
If you've ever worked on Wall Street or just enjoy trading stocks in your free time, you're probably familiar with quarterly earnings calls.
Listening to the stupid shit we have to deal with.
Generally, these calls are pretty boring.
Great quarter.
Very strong second quarter. Congrats from me as well. Congratulations on another spectacular quarter. Congrats on the quarter.
But every once in a while, you come across an earnings call that just really goes off the rails.
We will now take a question from Bruce Wayne with Wayne Enterprises. Please go ahead.
What the is this?
This is the brief story of some of the craziest corporate earnings calls of all time.
Good day and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday Incorporated fourth quarter fiscal 2016 earnings conference call.
Ruby Tuesday, home of some of the worst restaurant ad campaigns ever.
Hey, want to see what's between our new buttery toasted pretzel buns?
That's a real Ruby Tuesday ad from 2013. Anyway, the business has been a melting ice cube for years. The company has been struggling with declining same-store sales comps as restaurant chains with real marketing departments continuously ate away at their franchises. The Q4 2016 earnings call started off like any other call. A few boring questions from analysts, nothing special. But then, one brave analyst appeared who was willing to ask the tough questions that no one else on the call had the guts to ask.
Thank you. As a reminder, that is *1 to ask a question. Our next question comes from Buddy Fox with Geneva Roth Holding Corporation.
Hi. I just have one question. Do you think your revenue was negatively impacted by Harambe's death? And if yes, do you have any plans to mitigate it?
What did he say?
Excuse me, can you repeat your question, please? Impacted by what?
By Harambe's death, and if yes, do you have any plans to mitigate it?
I'm sorry, I don't know if you have bad connection. I couldn't quite hear the question.
It appears that he has lost connection.
Unfortunately, Ruby Tuesday was acquired by a private equity firm in 2017, so we'll never know how much their business was truly impacted by the tragic death of Harambe. December 2007 was a tough time to be in financial services. Both the US economy and stock market had peaked just a couple months earlier, and we're both on the verge of going through some seriously crazy shit.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
I'm sure no one remembers this time as vividly as Al Lord, the longtime vice chairman and two-time CEO of Sallie Mae. Upon returning for his second run as CEO in December 2007, Al hosted a call with analysts and investors, and you can probably guess it didn't go too well. Analyst Bill Cavalier asked Al about what the current environment was like for loan securitization. Al wouldn't answer, and he referred Mr. Cavalier to Sallie Mae's investor relations head, Steve McGarry.
But you're the CEO. You're the guy who just took over the company.
Yes, that's exactly right. I'm the CEO. You should give Steve a call. Next question.
So Al was feeling a bit feisty that day, and by the end of the call, we get our first episode of Your Mic is Unmuted.
Again, at this time, if you would like to ask a question, please press *1 on your telephone keypad.
How good is this? Steve, let's go. No questions. Let's get
Okay, Hillary, if there are no more questions, we'll end the call.
Wall Street was so mortified by the call that Sallie Mae's stock fell 20% the next day. Elon Musk. What more can I say? The man is just Mr. Controversy himself.
I do not respect the SEC.
And he's only going to become more entertaining once he installs himself as CEO of Twitter. But we're not here to talk about Twitter today. Elon has historically been pretty patient with analysts on Tesla's earnings calls. But Tesla's Q1 2018 call goes down as the call that finally made Elon snap.
In our business, so we feel that these are the right decisions, and there is still room for us to reduce it further if we wish to. So we are leaving ourselves some discretion here to go spend money where needed.
And so where specifically will you be in terms of
your
capital requirements?
Next. Boring bonehead questions are not cool. Next.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Joseph Stack with RBC Capital Markets.
Thank you.
A few moments later.
We're going to go to YouTube. Sorry. These questions are so dry. They're killing me.
Thank you. Our next question is from Galileo Russell with Hyperchange.
Many believe Jamie Dimon is one of the greatest bankers in history. As CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Dimon steered his bank through the financial crisis better than any other bank. So while some might say he's arrogant,
what's the bottom line? I could care less about Bitcoin.
You could at least argue the arrogance is earned. While Dimon can always be counted on for his highly opinionated rants on earnings calls, nothing exhibits that little bit of earned arrogance quite like his interaction with banking analyst Mike Mayo at JP Morgan's February 2013 Investor Day.
I think what I hear UBS saying in their presentations is if I'm an affluent customer, I'll feel a lot better going to UBS if they have a 13% capital ratio than another big bank with a 10% ratio. Do you agree with that or disagree?
So you would go to UBS and not JP Morgan?
I didn't say that. That's their argument.
That's why I'm richer than you.
Our second episode of Your Mic is Unmuted takes us to Snapchat's Q2 2017 earnings call. See, Snapchat IPO'd earlier that year to a complete lack of fanfare. Investors weren't interested in the story, believing the app to be a fad that would eventually fizzle out.
I've said publicly, I think investing in Snapchat is like driving drunk. I think it's something no responsible person should do.
Rich Greenfield from BTIG had some questions about Snapchat's excessive use of push notifications, and his colleague Brandon Ross didn't understand the response.
You know, people, as they become more reliant on push notifications, have sort of relaxed the standards there, and I think it's important for our business.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Mark Mahaney with RBC.
I didn't even understand his response.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I'm just going to limit myself to one.
If you've watched The Big Short, you may know our next guest, Steve Eisman, who is portrayed by Steve Carell on the film. Eisman is a man who doesn't mince his words, and there's no better example of this than the Genworth Financial Q3 2010 earnings call.
Next, we'll hear from Stephen Eisman with FrontPoint.
Yeah, hi. I think it's pretty clear this was a very poor quarter, but there are larger issues here that I think you need to address. This management team has overseen a massive destruction of shareholder value. I want you to understand that the patience of your shareholders is not infinite, and my patience is just about done. And I'd like a response to my comments. And one other thing, at the beginning of this conference call, Mr. Frazier said that they might do bolt-on acquisitions. Do not do that. Your stock is selling at less than 40% of book value. You do a bolt-on acquisition, and I will wage a proxy battle immediately to throw you out of here.
Our third and final episode of Your Mic is Unmuted takes us to the Cubesmart Q2 2018 earnings call. I have no idea what this company does. I didn't even bother to look it up, and it doesn't even matter, because this call was fairly unique in that the star of our show wasn't an analyst or management, but the moderator herself.
Apologies, folks. We're here in Malvern hearing a lot of feedback, and we're unable to hear anyone else. We understand that you can hear us, but we're not hearing any questions. So bear with us while we try to resolve the technical issues.
A few minutes later.
And then also in terms of pricing.
This has been a horrible call. In the beginning.
Hello? Hey, Michelle.
Oh my God.
Michelle, your microphone is live.
Are we still here?
Hey, Todd. Thanks for your question.
Archer Limited was the culmination of a 2011 merger of several small oil and gas companies. This is just another way of saying it's a horrible business. Luckily, on their Q1 2013 earnings call, the company caught their big break. A certain billionaire leader of a multinational conglomerate hopped on the call to see about making a business deal with Archer.
We will now take a question from Bruce Wayne with Wayne Enterprises. Please go ahead.
Hello? Hello there. Hello, Bruce. We can hear you. Hi there. This is Bruce Wayne. I have a question for you guys. So I was wondering, given your financial situation, if you guys would be willing to invest in some technology I'm developing.
I think we will still find money if we find the right technology to invest in. I think we have a very good on the oil tools side of the business internal R&D team, and so the investment should also be looked upon as just attracting talented engineers to continue that run.
Do you feel that you have engineers that can, work on my specifications? Because I am, facing quite a lot of supervillains, so I need, specific technical expertise.
I'm a little bit. There's a big echo on the line. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
No, what it is that a lot of my technology was damaged. I was obviously recently in battles with Bane, the Joker. So I just want to know if you guys can, invest in some technology I'm developing.
Okay, Bruce, we are currently investing in technology in all tools and in wireline. We have various technologies where we've invested over the couple of years, and we will continue to do so going forward. Bertrand, can you move on to the next caller, please?
Judging by the share price performance, I'm guessing they didn't get a deal done. We end this video with one of the most legendary calls of all time. Lorenzo C. Gonsalves is CEO of mining company Cleveland Cliffs. All you need to know about him is that he has no patience for bullshit. Oh, you're an analyst with a sell rating on his stock? Yeah, you can go yourself.
Sam, I appreciate you saying thank you for taking your question, but I'm not going to answer your question because you already know everything about my company. You have a $4 price target, and you think that we can't sell assets. So I'm going to take the next question. I'm not going to answer you. Next question, operator, please.
On their Q3 2018 earnings call, Gonsalves had really had enough. Going off on bearish analysts and short sellers, he went on one of the wildest rants that Wall Street had ever heard.
You are a disaster. You are an embarrassment to your parents. With this being said, we are going to use money to reward the long-term shareholders. So if the stock continues to go down based on these kids that play with computers and somebody else's money, we are going to buy back stock. We are going to screw these guys so badly that I don't believe that they will be able to only resign. They will have to commit suicide. So we are going to screw these guys so badly that it will be fun to watch. That will be my first priority. You are messing with the wrong guy.